Hey guys, today we're going to be reading Freedom on the Menu. Freedom on the Menu. Just about every week, Mama and I went shopping downtown. I loved having her all to myself for the afternoon. Whenever it was hot or we got tired, we'd head over to the snack bar in the Five and Dime store. We'd stand as we sipped our Cokes because we weren't allowed to sit at the lunch counter. Once I watched a girl swivel a stool as she spooned a banana split. In the empty seat beside her was a purse almost exactly like mine. Can I have a banana split? I begged Mama. Not here, Connie, said Mama. I'll fix you one at home. Won't be the same, I grumbled. All over town, signs told Mama and me where we could go and where we couldn't go. Signs on water fountains, swimming pools, movie theaters, even bathrooms. Everybody I knew obeyed the signs, except my great Aunt Gertie from New York. Once, when she visited us, she drank from the whites only fountain and said real loud, I've never heard of colored water. Have you, Connie? Then she lifted me up so I could take a sip. I looked up from the fountain. Y'all know better than that, a man scolded. I started to say sorry, mister, but Aunt Gertie just huffed. I'm too old for silly rules. It was a really hot day, but the man walked away without taking a drink. There weren't any signs up in the Five and Dime, but we still knew how it was. Most people didn't expect change anytime soon, but Daddy thought different. Dr. King's coming to town, he told us one morning. Who's that? I asked. Who's sick? He's not that kind of doctor, Connie, Daddy laughed. He's a minister who's working to make things better for us, said Daddy. So we can go anywhere we please, said Mama. Like the lunch counter? I asked. Yep, said Daddy, and other places too. Later that week, our whole family went to hear Dr. King preach at the college chapel. Didn't really understand all of his speech, but I liked his booming voice. It sounded as if he believed God was on our side. Every few minutes, Mama said, Amen. And when Dr. King sat down, everyone stood up and clapped for a long time. Soon after that, my brother and sister joined the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Everyone called it the NAACP. They let me tag along as they went door to door helping people sign up to vote. I never voted in my life, said a white-haired lady leaning on a cane. Will I get to vote for the president? Yes, ma'am, I said. My brother wants to be president when he's all the way grown. Tell him he's got my vote, she chuckled. And hold on to those big dreams, she said, handing me her voter registration form. Yes, ma'am, I'll tell him, I promised, thinking about my own dreams too. Times are changing, she said, waving as I left. Then one day, Mama and I went shopping downtown. We stopped at the snack bar just like always. I tugged on Mama's sleeve. Look over there at the lunch counter. We know those boys. There sat 4 of Brother's friends from A&T College. Do they know they're in the wrong place? I whispered. Some rules have to be broken, Mama whispered back. I heard one of them order. Coffee and a donut, please. I'm sorry, we can't serve your kind, said the blonde-haired waitress, wringing her hands. The boys didn't budge. Don't y'all understand English? The kitchen worker said. Go on over to the snack bar, she hissed. Stop making trouble here. The manager tapped his foot and jutted out his chin. They can sit there forever for all I care, he said, storming out of the store. Why'd your friends do that? I asked. If we can spend money at a store, said Brother, it's fair that we should be able to eat at the store's lunch counter. I guess so, I said. Think it'll work? Sometimes it's just important to try, said Daddy, rubbing his chin. The next day, Daddy showed me the newspaper. The headline said Negro students stand up by sitting down. They sat there for 4 hours, said Daddy, peering over the newspaper. I'd be too hungry to wait that long, I said. Connie, they didn't really want food, said Daddy. They wanted to be allowed to get it, same as if they were white, to be treated fairly. By Friday, we heard on the news how hundreds more had joined the sit-ins. The protests are growing, I told Daddy. I'm joining the sit-ins, Brother said, bursting into the room. And I'm going to picket downtown, said Sister, tomorrow. I want to go too, I said. I'm plenty big enough to hold a sign, and I know I can sit. It's good that you want to help, said Daddy. But Connie, you're still too young for these things. I never get to do anything important, I pouted. You can help make picket signs, said Sister. That's very important. The next morning, I handed Sister my little flag for her to carry. We'll tell you how everything went when we get home. Turns out, I saw the protests on TV. Hundreds of people walked up and down the sidewalks in front of stores, restaurants, and movie theaters. I saw my own sister carrying a picket sign. And there was the back of Brother's head at the lunch counter. My own brother. I'm just so proud of them, said Daddy. Me too, I said. I just pray there's no trouble, Mama fretted. After a while, I watched the news on TV, almost as much as Mama and Daddy. One night, I saw a report on the sit-ins. That doesn't look like downtown, I said. Connie, the sit-ins have spread all over the South. Just then the phone rang. I answered it. Daddy, it's Sister. She got arrested at the lunch counter. She's in jail. Sister, who always got A's in school, who hardly ever got in trouble, who was what Mama called mule stubborn. Daddy raced to the police station, but Sister wouldn't let him get her out of jail. He told me how the students kept chanting, jail but not fail, jail but not fail. We can't just leave Sister in here with the bad guys, I pleaded. She made up her mind, Connie, Mama said, wiping a tear. She wants to stay with the other students. In a few days, Sister came home. Promise me you'll stop picketing, I begged. I can't do that, she said, hugging me tight. Now, instead of shopping downtown, we had to order from the Sears catalog. Mama and I leafed through the big, thick catalog together. She even let me help pick out things, but we both knew it wasn't the same. How long before the sit-ins are over, Mama? I asked. Till folks get what they want, said Mama. That summer, Mama, Daddy, and I finally went downtown. When we passed Woolsworth, I heard someone shout, "They're serving them!" Daddy stopped so fast the brakes screeched, and Mama and I jolted forward. We parked and ran to the lunch counter. There sat the women who worked in the restaurant kitchen. They were all dressed up and fancy and eating egg salad. I can't even stand the smell of egg salad, but I stood and watched them eat every bite. Looks pretty good, I said to Daddy. And we shared big grins. The next day, Brother, Sister, and I made a special trip downtown. Brother wore a suit and a tie. We girls wore hats and white gloves. And at the lunch counter, I climbed up on a stool next to them. We'll have 3 hot dogs, 3 French fries, 2 coffees, 1 Coke, and 1 banana split, please, I said to the blonde-haired waitress. Brother and sister sipped coffee, and I twisted on my stool while we waited for our meals. Our food soon arrived. As I ate, the waitress plopped an extra cherry on a mound of whipped cream. She still looked nervous, but she smiled at me, and it was the best banana split I had ever had.